And welcome to Palo High School for the second half of this doubleheader. We just finished the Palo girls and the Lynbrook girls. Palo lost a close one, 40-34. Now, though, we have the nightcap, as it were, with the Palo Alto Vikings hosting the Homestead Mustangs. And we've got a couple really great players on the floor tonight. Kevin Dukovic, my man, is going to talk about them.
Yes. Right there in the middle of the Homestead huddle is Troy Whitford, who is the point guard for Homestead and is their star player. He averages 18.7 points a game. That leads the De Anza League, the league in which Pally plays in. There he is right there taking off his warm-up shirt, number 11. And if we can get a shot of Aubrey Dawkins, he will be Pally's standout tonight. He leads Pally with an average of 18.4 points a game. So both Whitford and Dawkins are 1-2 in scoring in the De Anza League. And this showdown should be a good one. Pally is without starting center Keller Christ, who is at the Super Bowl at New Orleans, believe it or not. His dad is the quarterbacks coach of the 49ers, so he's not here. As we're set for the opening tip-off, the Vikings are also without Aldis Petracheks, who is under the weather and will not be playing. So two starters absent tonight for the Vikings, and they will start Matthew Fogarty, number 25, and Scotty Peary, number 3, as replacements. So here we go. Dezer starts with the ball and finds Dawkins up top. Dawkins being aggressive, finds Peary on the wing. Dezer to Schmutz, Pally's starting point guard, to Dawkins down low, who finds Peary for the 3, and it rattles out. And we've got a quick foul here.
And despite that great ball movement, they're not able to. Peary's not able to get that ball down. He's usually the 6th man for this Pally squad.
Peary, the sharpshooter for the Vikings. As you said, usually the first guy to come off the bench for Pally, but because Petracheks is under the weather, not feeling so well, he gets the start tonight. But Fogarty, number 25, hasn't started a single game all season for the Vikings. So we'll see how he, as Schmutz steals the ball from a Mustang, we'll see how Fogarty fares tonight. As Schmutz takes the ball, finds Peary for 3, and Peary nails it.
And there he goes. That's the Scotty Peary we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
They're going to try and get him open a lot and try and nail those threes. He's a sharpshooter.
Peary shoots a 37% from the field, or excuse me, from the three-point line on the season. Tonight, 50%. We saw him knock down 1. And Pally takes a 3-0 advantage here early. Schmutz will take the ball up and find Peary here to Dezer. Oh, he saw Dawkins on the backdoor cut, but the ball was deflected. So yeah, as we mentioned, Pally, which has a record of 18-1, a perfect 8-0 in league play, as Dawkins tips on his own miss.
And you can always count on Aubrey Dawkins to make a couple of those just incredible athletic plays. He's really an athlete. We've seen him with some monster dunks here over the past couple years. And
Whitford loses the ball, and a jump ball is called. But yeah, Pally comes in with an outstanding record of 18-1 overall, undefeated in league play. They've won all of their 8 league victories by double digits. And they have another league opponent here tonight in Homestead. And the Mustangs come in with an overall record of 8-12 and a league record of 3-5. But they have some talent, highlighted by Whitford, as Dezer misses the 3, and a foul is called on the Vikings.
And we were talking to the Pally coaching staff earlier before the game, and they were saying that last time these two teams met, Homestead scored 60 points on them, their season high, and so the Pally coaching staff was really they really were looking at trying to get that down and really trying to contain number 11 there.
Yeah, they've got Tazur, a very athletic, lengthy defender, probably Pally's best defender if you asked head coach Adam Sachs, as number 13, Reddy hits the shot for the Mustangs. But yeah, as Schmutz finds Fogarty, but looks as if Fogarty's been fouled and will head to the line. Sachs will put Tazur on Whitford and try to limit Whitford's quickness and try to make the Mustangs, the other 4 players, step up and beat Pally, as Fogarty heads to the line and Cooley knocks down his first free throw. We've got some subs coming in for Pally. Kenny Jones will replace Peary here, and it looks as if Clark Schmutz, number 24, will come in for Fogarty, the shooter, at the next dead ball.
And yeah, Pally's really playing some great defense, able to keep this potent Homestead offense to just the 2 points so far this game. Excuse me, and we'll have to see how they try and continue that.
Wow. A great cut there by number 21 of Homestead, Nick Sugiarto, who could not get up a shot. But yeah, Pally here will have to deal without Christ, their inside presence. Keller Christ, as we mentioned, is in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. His father, Jeep Christ, is the quarterbacks coach for the 49ers. And Keller is the big man for the Vikes, leads the team in blocks, rebounds, and is just their defensive and physical presence down low.
And of course, it has to be noted that Keller Christ is junior starting quarterback for the Vikings. He's some sources have him as the #1 quarterback in the class of 2014. So
a very athletic, very physical guy. As Schmutz is called for the turnover, we see 2 Schmutzes on the court. Clark, number 24, and older brother, senior captain Matthias, number 15, are both on the court for the Vikes.
And it must be noted that Matthias Schmutz will be a Northwestern Wildcat next year.
As will you, Ethan.
Yes, the Wildcats out in force tonight here.
Yes.
Let's hope that this Pally team can
dunk
have a
alert here. Oh, looks like we got a foul.
But Aubrey gets the and one. The nice little stall move draws the foul, and he'll get one more.
Yeah, little hesitation there by Dawkins. He'll head to the line. Dawkins, the son of Johnny Dawkins, the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal men's basketball team and former Duke University standout. So Dawkins here will shoot one and try to increase Pally's lead, as he does, to 7 points. Pally up 9-2 here over Homestead early.
And as much as we talk about the explosive firepower at a number 11 for Homestead, Whitford and a couple other players, Homestead really does have a little bit of a gap there. They're not very deep. They've got 2 players, Whitford and number 20 Shayetste.
Wow, what a pass by Tazur.
Who are averaging over 10 points a game. But other than that,
wow, that was a great three-quarters court pass. Tazur is known for that. He has great, outstanding court vision. And as you could see right there, he found Schmutz on a laser beam, and Schmutz was able to put it in and increase Pally's advantage to 9 points. Yeah, as I mentioned, without Keller Christ, Pally is missing quite the defensive talent. Christ has, just to illustrate that, Christ has 42 block shots on the season, and the next highest Viking block shotter is Aubrey Dawkins, who has 5 block shots. So
the team has 52 blocks. Keller Christ has 42 of them. That's another way of showing just how important he is to this team. So
he averages just over 2 blocks a game. Also averages 7.5 rebounds a game. So obviously Pally's going to have to make up for that somehow. But so far so good here. Up 11-2 over Whitford, who has the ball right now, and the visiting Mustangs.
One of the impressive things is they've held him scoreless so far, which they've done a really great job, especially Sir on him, keeping without a point.
Jones unable to box out his man. It results in a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Vikings, and they will take over here with 3:51 to go in the first quarter. So a strong start here, Ethan, for the Vikings. Schmutz, nice spin move and strong move to the basket, is fouled and will shoot two. Strong start here, despite not having two of their go-to players. Petrocek's, who is the second highest scorer behind Dawkins, with 13.5 points a game, and the aforementioned Christ.
And I think that they picked up probably a good game for Keller Christ to miss. Homestead isn't a huge team, and so Keller's absence will have probably less of an impact than it would against some of the bigger teams in the league. But
yeah, well, last time these two teams played, they played January 11th, and the Vikings prevailed. Christ had 10 points in that game, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals. So he did have a fairly sizable impact in that game. As I try to locate the final score of that game here. Yep, they played January 11th, and Pally prevailed 77-63. That was at Homestead. So this is their second and final meeting as Dawkins comes away with the steal and throws it down emphatically.
What a move. Just lights up this Pally gym. He's been known to do that.
Yeah, very athletic forward for Pally, and that got the fans a little involved here early. As Pally is running a little trap as a Homestead offensive player turns his back, a second Pally defender will come and from the Mustangs blindside trap that player. So Coach Adam Sachs employing a pretty aggressive defense here early, and so far, it's working. Pally's up 13-2 with 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And
of course, the big storyline to watch: Troy Whitford, averaging 18.7 points a game. That's the most in the De Anza League. Just ahead of Aubrey Dawkins at 17.4. He's been held without a point so far, as we're coming close to the end.
I think without a shot, to be honest. I don't think I've seen him take a shot yet. So great defense as Noah Phillips is in the game here, number 1 for the Vikings. Junior sharpshooter here, getting some action early with, as we mentioned, Christ and Petrocek's absent for tonight's game. Kenny Jones with the ball. Looks as if they'll get Dawkins involved with the high post here. Dawkins, very aggressive move. Can't get the floater to go. And it looks like an offensive foul is called. And it'll be Mustang ball.
And, of course, this team, as dangerous as it is, you just got to imagine how great this team would have been if E.J. Florial, the great junior standout, was still attending Pally. He moved to Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes.
His father got a job at the University of Kentucky as, I believe, a track coach.
Yep,
the track coach
the the track. Wow, it's a difficult shot is drained by number 13, Reddy. Yes, I believe EJ's Florial's father got a track director job at Kentucky, where EJ is playing basketball this year. The travel is called on, I believe, number 21, Elon Tazur of the Vikings. But yeah, while it might seem obvious that the Vikings would maybe not be as strong without Florial, I've heard from various Pally players that some think that it's a good thing as Jones corrals the steal, but Noah is called, or Phillips is called for the carry. Some believe that it was a good thing he left. It forced the players on the team to come together and to really play better team ball. So far this year, I mean, they've won 15 games in a row, or 16, I believe. This would be their 17th. As Schmutz comes up with the steal
and uses the ref there for a
block. And Phillips gets buried there. They'll go to the line. But yeah, Pally off to its best start since Jeremy Lin, the Harvard grad.
I've heard of that guy.
I have too, and the current Houston Rocket led Pally in 2006 to a basketball state title. So their best start since then, as Phillips a little too strong on that first free throw. And we see number 22, Kevin Mullen, come into the game. Mullen, the only underclassman on Pally's team, doesn't usually get many minutes, but of course, as we've mentioned, with Christ and Petrochek's not playing tonight, he'll have an opportunity here to get some varsity minutes. As Peary knocks the ball away, but is called for the foul.
And that's all assuming that they can keep up this great defense. It's going to be interesting to see if Reddy of Homestead can keep this up. He's got all 4 of the Mustangs' points so far, and it really seems like if Homestead's going to have a chance, they've got to get Troy Whitford into the game. He's their leading scorer. He's
no question. He's
maybe the best player in the league. Of course, as we've said, the leading scorer in the league, and he's really had nothing.
Look out! Here we go. Wow, another dunk for Dawkins to increase Pally's advantage to 11, up 15-4 with 60 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Wow, very emphatic start for the Vikings, as a nice pass is made from number 5, Colin Spence, to number 10, Brandon Sutton, for the bucket. As Schmutz, being aggressive, easy finger roll at the bucket. Wow, 17-6. Pally is having their way offensively here, and just as the first time these two teams met, Pally, which scored, just under 80 points of that game, getting off to a very potent start here.
And we really expected offensive fireworks in this game, but
yep, we did.
I don't think we would have. We didn't really expect it to be to have Homestead be this.
5 seconds to go
only
here
have
in the
6
quarter.
points.
And Mullen, first shot, and he banks it in.
And that's a 3.
I think that was a 2, but
Or the 2?
did they call it off? I'm not sure here if it counted, but. And I'm not sure if he called bank on that one, Ethan, either. But nevertheless.
Contrary to popular belief, in high school ball, you do not have to call bank in order to.
So here we're going to take a look at a replay of Aubrey Dawkins here. No one within 10 feet of him.
And he can just show off there.
Look at that.
With those MJ moves there.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. But, yeah.
With the leg kick and the.
I didn't see the tongue sticking out. But, yeah, Dawkins, by far the most athletic player on Pally. As you see, Petrochek's there in the brown dress shirt there on the right.
That's become a tradition for the Pally Viking basketball team over the last couple of years.
To dress up on game day, and you'll see them at school with their khakis on and their dress shirts, dressed to impress. And Petrochek's, feeling a little under the weather. I think he has an ear infection as well. So he'll sit out, and it looks as if the Vikes don't really need him tonight. So we'll see if they can keep this one going. As it stands right now, 20-6, and they're on pace for 80 again. So we'll see if they can keep this up. So here's Whitford. If Homestead, wants to get back into this game, he's gonna, as he splits a couple defenders, but a wonderful pass right on cue to one of his teammates for a bucket. He's gonna have to step it up, whether it's like he did right there, finding his open shots for his teammates, or creating some for himself, as Mullen throws an off-balance skip pass. And
Aubrey's fouled.
Dawkins is hit.
Dawkins will go to the line for his 2 shots.
Yeah, but Whitford is going to have to continue to create if Homestead, wants to, have any chance of getting back into this one. Dawkins is a great free throw shooter. He shoots, let's see here, 88% from the line. So very, very solid from the line as he hit that one.
Hit his first.
And will attempt his second upcoming. There we go.
Especially with the with a couple players out tonight, I think really the Vikings would like to get this game out of reach as quickly as possible and not have to worry about depth down there.
I agree.
In the stretch.
And it looks as if Pally is en route, I'd hate to say it so early on, but to their 17th consecutive victory. And they would remain undefeated in league play as Dawkins cannot nail that one. And a foul has been called on Schmutz. That will be Pally's 6th team foul. One more, and Homestead will be shooting 1-1.
And this has been a very physical game so far. We've seen 12 fouls now from teams combined.
Yep. As Whitford handles the ball up top. Oh, stolen again by Schmutz.
A great read by Schmutz, figuring out where the ball is going to be and getting there.
A plethora of turnovers here for the Mustangs early as Peary.
And there you see just Aubrey Dawkins, just pure athleticism. Just there were about 2 or 3 Mustang defenders on him, and he just single-handedly got a couple rebounds and finished it.
Yeah, as we were honing in on Whitford before, Dawkins is, averaging, just over
18.4.
Yeah, 18.4 a game.
18.5 points a game.
6.9 rebounds a game. He is their go-to player, and, especially with Petrocek's and Chris out tonight, he is going to take on a bigger role and already has.
Yeah, he stepped up. He has almost 10 points now, so.
Yep, 2 dunks, and he's knocking his free throws down. And, Pally's doing a great job of forcing turnovers here and getting out in transition. We saw Dawkins with 2 dunks, in the transition game. And Coach Sachs really loves his team to get out really fast after grabbing rebounds and pushing the pace. And thus far, this frenetic pace has benefited Pally. As the score, Pally up 14 indicates.
We have seen a couple of bad passes.
Wow. That was an athletic move there by number 23, Justin Shayetse.
And he's their second leading scorer. He's the only other member of this Homestead team that's averaging over 10 points a game.
Yes.
He's got 11.1. So really, at least up until this game, for this Homestead team, it's been him and Troy Whitford. And so far, we've seen very little from either of those players.
Yeah, well, Pally is making sure that Whitford, doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Oh, it's a nice 3-ball is nailed there and a timeout called by Sachs. But part of the reason why you saw that open 3 there by Ozawa was because Pally was doubling Whitford. So Pally is doing all that it can right now to limit Whitford's offensive presence. But if Whitford, as he did there, can find some of his teammates, one of which has to be open if Pally's doubling, then Homestead maybe can get back into this game. But
they're really going to need some of those secondary players to step up here.
Yes.
As we talked about, they haven't had a good history that over the season so far, but they're really going to have to. Okay, and we're going to take a look at a replay now during the stoppage of play. Whew, and there's that beautiful pass, that beautiful shot, excuse me, from Justin Shayetse. Those are his first points of the game, but Homestead's starting to chip away at this lead a little bit. They're only down 11 now. Pally 26, Homestead 15 here with about 5.5 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, Keller Christ, Pally's center, is not here tonight. He is in New Orleans with his father, Jeep, who is preparing to face Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens in Super Bowl 47. As a steal by Tizur results in, a little point-blank miss by Dawkins. But yeah, as we mentioned, Super Bowl coming up Sunday, and another Palo Alto alum is involved in that one, in Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh was a great standout three-sport athlete here at Palo Alto High School. He's got a couple of all-league honors up in the lobby of the gym there.
Yeah, basketball,
and football.
Obviously football. He played quarterback for the Vikings and ended up playing in the NFL, where he now coaches. But yeah, three-sport athlete, also played baseball. Very athletic guy. Was at Pally for 2 years, his junior and senior years, back in 80. I think he graduated in 82, I believe. So it's been a while, but Harbaugh back on the national scene after leading the Stanford Cardinal to a few very successful seasons.
Full BCS Bowls. The interesting thing, if you ever want to stump your friends, is ask them is tell them that story and then ask them where John Harbaugh went to high school, because John, the elder brother, who's 3 or 4 years older than
15 months only.
Only 15 months.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Palo Alto High School. He I don't know exactly.
I don't know where he went either.
I don't know exactly what he went. They moved from Michigan, and he went to high school in Michigan. I don't know if he stayed in Michigan when the family moved.
He might have.
Oh,
wow. Schmutz knocks the ball away from Whitford. But yeah, John and Jim, the Har Bowl as they call it.
Or the Super Bowl.
They will face off on Sunday in what should be a very competitive, very physical game. Looking forward to that one. And should be good. As Pally here up 28-15 with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Wow. Number 10, Brandon Sutton there. Couldn't quite get that 3 to fall. And Whitford will take the ball out for Homestead.
We'll see if they're going to try and run some play, get the ball back to Whitford. They had him open for a second there, but Schmutz corrected.
Schmutz is being very active here on defense and making sure Whitford has to work extremely hard for any shots.
Sir had him at the beginning of the game. He's out now, and Schmutz has shifted over. But as we saw, they're definitely not afraid to double team him. And
yeah, that was the game plan going in, obviously there.
And they really are going to want to try and make anybody but Troy Whitford beat them tonight.
Nice ball movement here by the Vikes as Jones finds Peary at the top of the key for the 3. And he comes just a little short. Nice effort by Jones there to get the ball back from Schmutz to Dawkins, who misses.
He just mistimed his jump there. He should have come down with that rebound. He had a good 18 inches over everybody else, and just
Jones showing some great effort there, right in front of us here. We're courtside, and as he is replaced by Tizur, number 21 for Pally, who comes back in. Peary will inbound. Tizur. Oh, he was looking for the lob to Dawkins.
And we've seen a couple of those in the first half. I think if there's anything that Coach Sachs is going to get out of this first half as a negative for the Vikings, it's that they really need to work on some of their passes. They've tried, maybe they're just trying to try a little bit too much there, thread the needle a little bit.
On the defensive end, as Dawkins drills a 3. On the defensive end, we saw Tizur force Whitford into a very difficult off-balance shot. So Pally is still, making life very, very difficult on number 11, Troy Whitford, Homestead's leading scorer.
And here comes the double team.
Yep. Oh, there we go, tied up by Clark Schmutz. Number 15, Matthias Schmutz, younger brother. There's a 1-year difference between the two. If that was indeed the 7th foul.
Oh, it looks like they're calling jump ball, I think.
Oh, they call it jump ball. Yeah, it was a jump ball. But both teams are in bonus right now. As Tizur takes a rare shot. and misses. Tazur is not asked to shoot much, Ethan. He's more of an orchestrator, and as Whitford comes up short there.
But a really critical member of the team. He doesn't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's kind of an unsung hero a lot of times.
He's their best defender and a great passer.
And a great athlete.
And he did not play last year for the Vikings. Wow.
And a great move by Schmutz.
Wow, that was
on the block. I don't know if
showing nice dexterity there with the left-handed rejection. But I hope we can get a replay of that one. But yeah, Tazur and Peary did not play last year for the Vikings for various reasons. But this year, as seniors, as number 23, Justin Shayaza, I apologize if I butchered that. They have been, key contributors this year for the Vikings. Tazur, another aggressive move, and he'll head to the line for 2. Yeah, so while this team is, old, they have many seniors. Let's see, I guess they start one junior normally. That would be Christ. They really aren't that experienced. They do have Dawkins, Schmutz, and Petrocek, who have been here for a while. But Tazur and Peary, these are 2 players that are playing in their first year of varsity ball. So
with two big free throws there.
Yep, extending Pally's lead. They're up 33-18 now with 2 minutes to go in the half. A very comfortable lead for Pally as the double comes on Whitford.
And especially compared to the girls team, this is a much older team. They only have the 1 sophomore on the team, but they do have a good number of juniors. Clark Schmutz,
yep.
Fogarty, as we talked about, Phillips, and of course Keller Christ. So also C.J. Patterson, who's out,
academically
ineligible. So hopefully he can get back on the court.
Yeah, they might need him. He is their backup normally to Christ. This game they went to Fogarty down low. But yeah, if they could get Patterson back come playoff time, that could be important.
And the absence of Christ has forced them to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, he's one of their bigger guys.
Wow, and Troy Whitford really is forcing up these shots, and this great Pally defense, forcing Homestead to use the entire shot clock to get off an awful look there. So far, so good for Sachs and his defense. Schmutz
wide open and
can't get that one to fall.
But
and it's 2-on-2 the other way here. Oh, 3-on-2, I believe.
Whitford there doesn't take the shot, pass it off, but Shayetse is able to take it. And he's got a lot more. He's got, I believe, 7 now.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep scoring if Homestead's going to want to get back into this one.
But I think that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Coach Adam Sachs is very happy to let Justin Shayetse have a good night and keep Whitford off the scoreboard.
We have 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Dawkins pulls up and gets the roll there as the first half comes to an end. And Pally holding a dominant 15-point advantage here over the Homestead Mustangs.
And here we're going to see a replay.
Yeah, here we go.
And here, watch how Whitford. He doesn't try and take this shot. He's going to pass it.
Oh no, this is a pass.
And a beautiful pass.
I wonder if we can get a replay of Schmutz's block earlier, if we could.
A great play by Shayetse. 4 guys surrounding him, able to make a move and put it in. But still, at the half, Pally Vikings up 35-20 against the Homestead Mustangs. From Palo High School, I'm Ethan Cohen alongside Kevin Dukovic. We'll be right back with the second half.
All right, so I want to get an interview with someone, and I know we can. So I'll just interview him. I'll get someone over here maybe for like
And coming to you from Palo Alto High School, I'm Ethan Cohen here with Kevin Dukovic for the second half of this De Anza League basketball matchup between the Palo Alto Vikings and the Homestead Mustangs. Palo Alto Vikings are up 35-20 here as we get ready to start the second half. The big story of the day, and I think you'll agree with me, Kevin, is that number 11, the De Anza League's leading scorer, Troy Whitford of Homestead, has been held without a point in the first half.
Yeah, no question, Ethan. I totally agree with you. It was evident going in that Pally head coach Adam Sachs adamantly did not want Whitford to have any sort of impact tonight. And as we've seen defensively, Pally has made a concerted effort to hold Whitford to limit him. And so far, yep, as Ethan mentioned, they've been very successful. And Pally's up 15 here going into the second half.
And here to inbound the ball for Homestead will be number 13, Reddy. He had the first 4 points of the game for Homestead. And since then, Justin Chayetse has really come on. But Reddy inbounds the ball.
Wow.
Right in front of us. Aubrey Dawkins comes up with it. And called for the foul.
Yeah, right away. Pally gets another turnover.
Another turnover.
That was the story of the first half. Forcing turnovers, getting out quick in transition, getting easy buckets. Oh, as Fogarty.
And Whitford's passes pick off. Fogarty gets it. The layup and the bucket.
Matthew Fogarty. Fogarty, hasn't really seen much action at all this year. Obviously got the start because Christ is not here. But, wow, that was a varsity move there by Fogarty as Pally, picks up where they left off. Excuse me.
It really looks like some of these.
37-20.
It really looks like some of these players are trying to show their worth to this team, and to Coach Adam Sachs in this time.
Yeah,
and tonight with some key players.
It's a great opportunity for those players, for those reserves, for Fogarty, for Phillips, for Jones, and for Mullen.
And there's Whitford handling the ball down low, and Matthias Schmutz steals it but goes out of bounds, and that'll be Homestead ball.
They won't even let Whitford hold on to the ball for more than a couple seconds before swarming to him and swatting at his arms.
And that's Reddy, gives it back to Whitford. Whitford dribbles back to Reddy. To the outside, to number 21, Segurito.
And you'll see that.
Great ball movement. Reddy with the shot.
That was nice.
And that's a long two.
You'll see that Schmutz, who's guarding Whitford right now, as it looks like the Mustangs are employing full court pressure. It looks as if Schmutz will not play any help defense and will just focus on Whitford.
Wow,
and
there's
2 quick buckets
Subramanian with another 2. That gives him 6 on the day. He's been a very big performer here tonight for Homestead. It's also important to know that in the first meeting that we talked about, Homestead scored 60 points, which is by far the most that Pally's given up this year. And so far, as a little bit into the second half, they're already up. They've only scored 25. So we'll see if Pally can keep the strong defense. Whitford's pass goes long and off the hands of Reddy. It's out of bounds, and it'll be Pally balls. Inbounded by number 24, Clark Schmutz.
And it looks as if Whitford is getting a little frustrated here.
He really is. You can see it on his face. He's really, I think, got to calm down and try and.
He's agitated. This pressure is really getting to him. As Schmutz
goes underneath,
ball,
back out to Sir. He fakes the shot and leaves.
Wow.
I believe that's Subramanian left him on the floor there.
No box out whatsoever from the Mustangs. And Pally had about 4 cracks at that one there, but couldn't put it in, so they'll take it out underneath their the basket here. As Dezer will find Dawkins, who spins and puts in his 3rd attempt there. racks up a couple offensive boards to add to his impressive stat line thus far. He led Pally with 18 points at the half. Obviously had those, emphatic dunks, a couple of those, and has made his presence known thus far.
There's Reddy handling the ball at the top to Subramanian, who goes out to Brandon Sutton. He's had a couple of nice shots tonight. Whitford, with the hand in his face at serve, can't get it. And he still does not have a basket in this game.
That might have been his best look of the game. And yeah, as you
Here
said,
he drains the three.
that was Schmutz.
Oh, I'm
actually.
sorry, Schmutz. I'm sorry. Clark Schmutz there, my
yeah,
apologies.
with Troy Whitford there with a deep three, even with a hand in his face, it's about the best look he's gotten, in this game.
It's really, it's been interesting to see him with only one guy on it. Subramanian down low, can't get it.
And now Pally's having a little trouble with blocking out here and allowing Homestead to get a crack at a couple, possessions.
But it'll be
or a couple tries each possession, excuse me.
But it'll be Viking ball. Aubrey Dawkins to inbound. And Schmutz take it up the court.
So now Pally will run a drive and kick offense as well.
The alley-oop, and Aubrey Dawkins just gets it in there. So
that's something that I was talking to the players earlier this week. They're taking advantage more of. Dawkins obviously can sky and can get to the rim pretty easily. So Schmutz and Tazur have been making more of an effort to feed Dawkins on little lobs like.
And there's Whitford driving, and he can't get it again. Schmutz gets it down to Tazur, and he gets it in.
Great move by
Tazur. A great
Tazur.
transition play there by the Vikings.
The Vikings
here,
are now
Whitford
up by
driving down
more
with a
than
vengeance.
20, by 21 points. As a foul is called on Pally. That's their first team foul of the second half. And, wow, just absolute domination so far by Pally. The game plan of shutting down number 11 of Homestead, Troy Whitford, has worked,
And Sur with the steal on coverage of Whitford. And there's Clark Schmutz, can't handle on the other end, and that'll be Homestead ball.
Another deep pass by Tazur. He tends to take chances on those passes. Most of the time they work, but every once in a while we'll see a turnover like that one, as it is a risky maneuver there to
Whitford
pass.
Dribbling up. Hits Shayetse, dribbling, and he just runs into a wall there.
Another steal.
And another turnover for the Vikings. And a turnover. A little bit of sloppy basketball here, a couple turnovers in a row, but that's the way it goes. And you have to think that Adam Sachs isn't shocked to see his team scoring 46, but Coach Sean Hook of the Mustangs has to be a little bit surprised that his team has only scored 25 here.
Yeah, well, Pally is a very sound defensive team. But, yeah, 25 points in 2.5 quarters. Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Hook would be disappointed in this. It's Jones went down trying to draw a charge, but there's no call.
So they're going to slow it down, settle into the half court here. They tried to get some going transition, didn't happen. Schmutz driving and feeds it down low to Kenny Jones, who will get the bucket. Nice little feed there.
Yeah, Jones, an experienced player, doesn't get too many minutes, but he has been on varsity this is his second year. So he's been there. And an experienced veteran off the bench can provide some valuable minutes for Coach Sachs.
And Coach Sean Hook here calling timeout, trying to rally the troops a little bit, try and get something going here. They really have not been able to put any consistent pressure on the Vikings all game. It really has not been close with the Vikings up 48-25 here with 2:57 left in the third quarter of play. And again, we cannot stress this enough. And here we're gonna see a replay of that Kenny Jones, the Kenny Jones bucket. See Matthias,
great pass.
Feed down low, and then Kenny Jones turning his back and putting it up. And that's the kind of pass, a little bit of higher percentage pass that the Vikings really need to be successful with. They were trying some of the fancier, couple longer passes, trying to thread the needle a little bit in the first half, and got a couple turnovers, so they've settled down a little bit. But
yeah, if you're Coach Sachs, you're telling your players right now, slow down a little. If you have an opportunity on transition, if you have, it's a deep three is taken by
and Whitford just looks like he's getting desperate there, just unleashes the long three.
And being really aggressive on the defensive end. But yeah, if you're Coach Sachs, tell your players, slow it down, guys. Let's use up a lot of the shot clock. We have this huge, comfortable lead. Let's just hold on to it and, just get to the next game without getting hurt. You saw Schmutz there collide with Whitford as you saw Sachs take him out of the game right on cue. You don't want to get your players hurt in this instance. You've seen your backups, your reserves play really well and keep your team, help them maintain the lead. Just look to Pally to continue to run through their plays and take their time on offense.
And into the game now, the sophomore again, Kevin Mullen. He saw a couple minutes earlier in the game, but now he's in this.
As Jones nails a three right there.
Kenny Jones with the three. He's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yep, 5 points in the last 2 minutes or so.
Pally's now at 51-25. And Homestead really has to try and get something happen here.
Yeah, so as we said, Pally coming in had won 16 consecutive games. This, as it looks right now, will be their 17th. Very impressive season so far for Sachs and his team. But even though Pally holds a firm lead in league play, as Whitford still can't find his range.
There, Whitford made a great move, had the shot, and just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And here comes Mullen down the court. Pass up to Aubrey. Aubrey's going to hold on to it.
But even though Pally does have a big lead in league play, they can't afford to really lose any more games down the stretch. They will be most likely, if they win the games they should be winning, will go undefeated the rest of the season.
And Kevin Mullen, a great move from the sophomore. Just a great layup there, showing off some of his moves.
Yeah, and so, Pally, in order to acquire better seeding in the open division of CCS, the playoffs, they're going to have to win out most likely and avoid facing Archbishop Midi in the first round. If they lose, I think, one more game or 1 or 2 more games, they'd most likely get the 8th seed out of 8 teams in the open division play, which is the highest degree of competition come playoff time.
And of course, Aaron Gordon.
Yes, they would have to go up against Aaron Gordon and Archbishop Midi, and that would be a very difficult task, to say the least.
Defending state champions, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Aaron Gordon.
2 times at least. They've dominated the West Catholic School. So Pally playing not only for bragging rights, but for, as a foul is called, but for seeding in that tournament. All right, we're going to get a replay here of Mullen's bucket as he takes the ball, nice little pump fake, avoids dragging his pivot foot, and lays it in. So Mullen, the only underclassman on this Viking team, as we mentioned before, and a very skilled player.
Supermanian misses his second shot. Aubrey Dawkins with those huge arms just steals it out.
Mullen is the future of Pally basketball. After this year, you'll have Dawkins, Petroceks, Schmutz, Jones, Peary, Zur leaving. And Mullen,
a great steal by Reddy. And he had Sutton open, but he had taken himself, and
yeah,
he's had a great game so far. He's only averaging almost about 7 points a game, and he's well over that.
Yeah, he's been
so
about
far.
the only bright spot for the Mustangs. As Jones puts another one in there, 7 points in this quarter. Kenny Jones, the senior.
Troy Whitford making a move, and
oh, there you go. His first bucket of the game, folks. With 15 seconds to go in the third quarter, Troy Whitford finally puts the ball in the basket.
And he'll get two. He'll get the N1.
We'll head to the line here for the old-fashioned three.
What do you think of Kenny Jones's defense on that play? You think he should have tried to get up there and make a block, or
yeah, well,
like trying to take the charge?
Yeah, no, Coach Sachs really loves his players. He loves it when they try taking charges and drawing that offensive foul. So I'm sure, even though that it was called a block, Sachs is in favor of that play. As Mullen misses the three, Dawkins grabs the board, puts it up, but
a great play from Dawkins,
after
but
the buzzer.
That won't count. He has over 20 points in this game already. So,
and if you're Coach Sachs, you might want to think about sitting these guys, Dawkins and Schmutz, Tazur,
there you see Reddy.
Not only avoid injury to those star players, but to also give the reserves on Pally's team a chance to gain some experience. So
here we go, going into the fourth quarter of play from Palo High
quarter.
School. I'm Ethan Cohen alongside Kevin Dukovic. The hosts, Palo Vikings, up 55-30 against the Homestead Mustangs.
So here's a play here.
This is
yeah. So that was not called an over and back violation by the ref, but as you can see, the ball clearly bounced off of Mullen's own foot, so it should have been a over and back violation.
Some great work by our crew there in the booth with Brian Sotnick and Chuck Alley.
If the ball would have been deflected by one of the Mustangs and gone back to the other side of half court, then it would not have been half court or an over and back violation.
And here to start the fourth quarter, the Vikings have Kevin Mullen and Noah Phillips, the younger players in there, but they also have Dawkins and Jones and Schmutz. And
I don't know about
Kevin,
that.
you're shaking your head a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it were me, I would save these guys. I mean, without them. If one of them gets hurt, it most likely won't happen. But you never know. Homestead's playing really aggressively right now, and you just don't want to see any of those guys get hurt. You see, they're without Christ and Petrocheks in this game, and you'd hate to see, if you're Coach Sachs, one of your other leaders go down.
And there you see Schmutz going hard to the floor, so
yeah,
it can happen.
It definitely can, and those guys are both very aggressive players, so it's in their DNA to keep attacking, even up 25.
And these guys definitely don't want to be out of this game. Aubrey Dawkins is not big on sitting on the bunk on the bench. Excuse me.
Same with Schmutz. Both fierce competitors, want to be out there helping their teams win.
Noah Phillips with the pass down low to Dawkins just can't handle it.
That was a great pass by Phillips.
Be Mustang ball.
A little low, but yeah, Phillips, another inexperienced player. He's a junior, his first year on varsity, as Jones comes up with the steal.
Yeah, Reddy's pass there, a little off center, and Jones is able to come up with it. Here's Schmutz. He's handling the ball. He's slowing it down a little bit.
Looks like Palo will run their basic motion offense.
Great ball movement.
Look for the cut there, yeah.
Great. Oh! Down to Schmutz in a huge block. A huge block. Where number 10, Brandon Sutton, just comes soaring out of nowhere.
One of the few opportunities for Homestead fans to cheer, clap their hands a little. Here with the Vikings up by 25 with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Schmutz has at the top. He's going to drive and somehow finds a hole, but can't get it to go.
Nice board by Dawkins, who puts it up. Nice little hook shot.
Dawkins with the hook, just over everyone. He's able to use his athleticism so well and just got on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, as Mullen is applying a little pressure here. I don't know if Schmutz or if Sachs condones that or not, but nevertheless, here we are.
Kevin Mullen's just playing very aggressive ball. I don't know if that's a.
All right, as we look at a replay here, yep, that motion play is designed to get that open layup, and Schmutz thought he was all alone at the last moment. Number 10,
Brandon Sutton there.
Yep, Brandon Sutton comes in.
He's also been a bright spot here. We've been talking all night about how the secondary players from Homestead really had to step up in this game, and they've done a pretty good job. As a matter of fact, Reddy and Troy Whitford's had a couple points, and Brandon Sutton have done a good job, but just not enough. Of course, the big story still, Troy Whitford being held to those 2 points.
Yep.
We cannot stress the importance of that to the Palo Vikings, to the Viking fans here at Palo High School.
Peary comes in to replace Jones, who had a stellar third quarter and will now get a rest. But yeah, that definitely has been the story of this game, and Whitford on the bench right now. It looks as if Coach Sean Hook of the Mustangs has just realized that it's not worth putting his star player at risk by playing him with his team virtually out of this one.
Here's Mullen, holding the ball, looking for somewhere to go. He moves a little bit, and down to Dawkins, just got a man on top of him. Up to the top for Schmutz, who airballs it, and Dawkins there to clean up. What is it like to have a player like Dawkins on your team who you just know his athleticism, he can make that happen. If you miss, he's there to pick it up.
Yeah, well, it's a great safety net. Dawkins, whenever you need a bucket, you can always turn to him. He'll create something either for himself or one of his teammates. And yeah, as you mentioned, very aggressive on the offensive glass, and so athletic that he tends to put most of his offensive rebounds back into the basket, and gets you a couple of cheap buckets every game. Very valuable player for Pally.
And I think one of the storylines, one of the most interesting storylines of this season for the Vikings has been the emergence of Aubrey Dawkins. Without Florial, as we talked about, left the school, lives in Kentucky now. Last year he was more of a role player for the team, and now he's really been able to shine as the star of this team and really show off just how good he can be.
Yeah, everyone knew last year that Dawkins could score and was one of their best players. But yeah, no doubt, since Florial has left, Dawkins has been forced to take on a bigger role, both offensively and defensively for the Vikings. And yeah, he's stepped up to the challenge, and he's played really well, averaging just over 18 points. And let's see here, 18 points and 7 rebounds a game.
And Reddy knocks his 2 free throws in there. That'll make the score 59-33 Vikings. And Elon Sur will inbound to Schmutz. The Homestead's really started to run this full court press pretty intensely. Kevin Mullen with the wide open 3, can't get it.
Mullen is one of Pally's best 3-point shooters, but
in limited minutes.
There, yeah, it's true. Hasn't had too many opportunities this year, but getting some valuable experience here in a league matchup against Homestead tonight. So Mullen, as we mentioned, he will be leading the Vikings the next 2 years, unquestionably.
And with Homestead in the bonus, here's a sophomore from Homestead, Colin Spence, taking the free throws. He'll make both of them. Both teams now, with this game basically out of hand, it's been decided pretty much, I think it's safe to say. And so both teams trying to see what their younger players can do for them.
Yeah, so with the win, the Vikings will move to 19-1 overall, 9-0 in league, and will further establish themselves at the top of the De Anza Basketball League standings. And whereas Homestead The Mustangs will fall to 8-13 overall and 3-6 in league. And as it stands right now, they are in 5th place in the De Anza division.
Colin Spencer with a great pass, getting it out of trouble.
Yeah, we've seen 2 sophomores, Mullen and Spencer, play. But yeah, if you're Coach Hook, you might be a little disappointed with your team's effort tonight. Down 61-35. Wow, an absolutely dominant performance from the Vikings tonight. But Homestead will drop to 3-6 in league and 5th place in the De Anza.
And here's
league
Mullen
standings.
taking all the way down the court. Fogarty lets a guy literally roll off of him and then gets the 2. Here comes Spence leading this Homestead offense down the court. Throws it out to Strawbridge, who throws it back. A little bit of ball movement here. Spence dribbling now.
The Homestead playing for pride right now. And wow,
Spence with some moves, getting it down.
Looks like
Matt
Homestead
Klein,
has a bright
the
future
captain.
as well, with Spence emerging here tonight.
Spence just gets beat there by Clark Schmutz, but we've seen some nice looks at him.
Yep.
In this 4th quarter.
There it is, that motion play again, the open cutter, and this time
Noah Phillips, the junior,
puts it in.
He's a player that doesn't get a lot of. We've seen him in 3-point contests, just raining threes.
Yeah,
in this
he's
gym.
a great shooter. Let's see what his 3-point shooting percentage is.
He doesn't get a whole lot of minutes either.
He does not. But yeah, he is one of the team's best shooters. Let's see here. Phillips from 3 shoots solid 42%. That is 2nd highest on the team behind Clark Schmutz. Both Schmutz and Phillips don't get, as we said, as many minutes as these other players. But yeah, I mean,
here's Spence inbounds.
Talented shooters on the bench for the Vikings. Oh, it's a steal by Jones.
And Jones has it, and he's going to take it himself. He looked for someone to pass to, but
a great
he's taking himself.
Pickpocket there by Jones, and an easy lay-in. And the Vikes now up by 30 points, Ethan. Quite the performance.
And I think, it's very possible that Palo could end up with fewer points in this game than they had in the January 11th, I believe, meeting where they scored 76 points. But I think that Adam Sachs is very happy with his team's performance tonight.
As we see Aubrey Dawkins is getting some treatment on the sidelines. If we can get maybe a shot of that from the trainer. As we said before, with your team up by, double digits late in the game,
plus.
You got to question why you'd leave your starters in there. And as Fogarty with a nice reverse putback.
He doesn't look too bad though.
I think he'll be fine, but that just goes to show you, anything can happen. And it's dangerous sometimes to be out there.
And for the Patriots fans out there, we know that well with the Gronkowski this year. But
yeah,
some great effort there by Kenny Jones following up on
Super Bowl's coming up, Ethan, on Sunday. Who do you got in that game?
I think the 49ers. The Ravens beat my Patriots last couple weeks ago, but I think the 49ers. I don't think the Ravens defense is nearly as good as they think they are, and I think.
You don't think it being Ray Lewis's last ride that they won't be motivated
unless they can get some deer antler spray into that locker room. I think a great move there from Homestead for those buckets. And it really seems like Pally's kind of loosened up a little bit here. Homestead's got a couple more good looks, but
absolutely no defense is being played by the Homestead Mustangs. Pretty much the entire game, to be honest.
Yeah, it's Pally's going to do whatever they want, and I think Homestead's okay with that as long as they can score enough points.
I think
they've been able to do a lot of the year.
The story of the game was defense.
It really was.
Vikings defense stifling all day long. Obviously, they honed in on Whitford.
Oh, great play by Fogarty, getting up there with
battling
number
for the
25,
rebound.
the big Matt Klein there. Senior, 6'4". He's a big dude. Matt Fogarty, the junior. Who's not too small himself, but
yeah, he's
just muscled that ball
What is
away.
he listed as? I know he's over 6 feet, but let's see. 6'1" maybe? Let's see here. Fogarty, 6'2". Oh, look, they gave him 6'2". I don't know about that, but yeah, he's tall. He's a tall guy, slender. And
Spence just takes the shot, but nothing doing.
It looks as if Fogarty will be the go-to guy to back up Keller Christ, who, as we mentioned before, is not playing in this game since he's at New Orleans for the Super Bowl. So it looks as if, Coach Sachs is going to be using Fogarty a little more in the home stretch here and later on in the season, too.
And that'll definitely be a stretch of this team next year, not to get too far ahead of ourselves. Oh, wow. A beautiful three there from Brian Cigaretto.
Yeah, the team next year will be solid, led by Mullen and Fogarty, Phillips, and Schmutz. They'll have some experience next year.
And now we see the Vikings doing what we saw Lynbrook doing, just playing keep away a little bit.
Yeah, no need to continue to try to.
Kenny Jones with a pretty dangerous pass over the Fogarty, and they're going to hold on to it. Spence is up there in his face. He wants it back, but that'll do it here from Palo Alto High School. Final score from this one is 71-42. The Palo Alto Vikings easily defeat the Homestead Mustangs. Give me 3 thoughts about this game.
3 thoughts. Wow.
Kevin Dukovic.
Well, the first thought would be that Pally coming in had a defensive strategy of making Homestead win by using other players other than Troy Whitford. Second thought, Pally offensively played really well, got Aubrey Dawkins involved and early and jumped out to a quick lead. And third thought, Vikings, 17th consecutive win. They're going to see if they can continue that streak next time when they face off with the Cupertino High School team next time. So, but please stay tuned. We are going to try to get an interview with Aubrey Dawkins of the Vikings shortly. So once again, the final score, the Palo Alto High School Vikings 71 and the Homestead Mustangs 42.
Yeah, Paul, we really can't overemphasize the Pally defense in this game. Holding the league leading scorer Troy Whitford to just 2 points in this game is really something that cannot be overstated. And there's our man Aubrey Dawkins talking to Kevin Dukovic. He's going to bring him over here to the table, and we're going to try and talk to him for a little bit. Aubrey Dawkins led all scorers over 20 points in this game. And so Kevin's going to talk to him for a little bit. And here's Kevin Dukovic with Aubrey Dawkins here, center court. We'll listen in to that conversation.
All right. Nice win. Thank you. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Let's ask a couple questions. So,
fans.
Aubrey Dawkins,
This is
star with the Palo Alto High School Vikings. So, Aubrey, can I get your thoughts on your team's victory?
We played a very well-rounded game. Everybody got to touch the ball. Just a bunch of teamwork, Made good passes, open shots, didn't force anything.
Talk about the defensive strategy going in, especially on Whitford there. Troy Whitford.
Is that number 11?
Yes.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, we really wanted to, pick up the tempo on defense for us and offense for them. Pick up the tempo and get them rushing, because that usually never turns out well for any team when they start to rush and frantic. So, that's what we did. They made some turnovers.
held them to only 1 bucket, I believe. So
In the fourth quarter?
to Troy.
Him 1
star
bucket?
player,
Oh, really? Wow.
He leads D with he leads you by about I think a fraction of a point. He has like 18 and a half points a game. You're 18.3.
Oh, that hurts.
But you got him tonight. You know, a couple dunks there. So, your offensive performance tonight?
I mean, I think I played well. My teammates hit me with the ball and all was open. You know, I couldn't score them without them. So, you know.
All right. Well,
thank you to them.
Congratulations. 17th consecutive win for your team.
17th?
It is.
What's our record?
17 in a row. You guys are 19-1 now, and a perfect 9-0 in league. I don't know why you don't know this, and I do, but
Kevin,
congratulations.
Just get over me. You're still on the team, Kevin.
Yeah.
You're still on the team. It's fine.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Well, we were on TV.
Yeah, we were.
Wait.
It's gonna get in the air later.
On a popular channel.
No, it's like.
And that'll do it for us here from Palo Alto High School. The final score here, Palo Alto Vikings 71, Homestead Mustangs 42. For Kevin Dukovic, I'm Ethan Cohen. You've been watching Media Center Sports. Come back next week.